courage, a sharp intelligence and self-effacing sense of humor, an embrace of high culture and low, from Whitehead and Spinoza to Groucho Marx. I recognized these family traits, and, wanting to know more, I dug into the archives. Reuben Peiss was the eldest son of Russian Jewish immigrants, Alexander Peissahovitz and Rose Pasternak, who came to the United States in the early 20th century, met, and married. When Alexander died in 1924, Rose raised their 4 children in Hartford, Connecticut, working as a milliner and receiving help from her brothers. Reuben Peiss, a stellar high school student, earned a scholarship from the city to go to Trinity College in 1929. He was like the other day students there, many of them Jewish strivers who lived at home, held jobs, needed financial aid, and were relentless in their pursuit of higher education, a source of tension at a college where affluent Protestant fraternity men dominated campus life. When he graduated, he received a fellowship from Trinity to attend Harvard University for a year of postgraduate work in philosophy, studying Spinoza and Jewish thought with the eminent scholar Harry Austen Wolfson. Yet Harvard, too, was inhospitable and exclusionary, offering little support to Jewish students. Peiss graduated with a master's degree in 1934, but without further funding, he suspended his doctoral work. His class photograph shows a young man dressed in a formal suit, with vest and watch chain, a shy smile and direct gaze behind round metal glasses, the well-bred look of someone trying to fit in. Needing to earn a living in the midst of the Great Depression, he began teaching at Hartford Federal College, a community college founded as a federal emergency relief school by the Works Progress Administration. The experimental college struggled to stay open, as critics attacked both its progressive curriculum and the faculty's left-wing politics. In 1937, Peiss decided to become a librarian, attending an accelerated program in library science at the University of Michigan. His colleagues would later extol this choice as one that recognized the affinity between philosophy as the love of knowledge and libraries, which are the repositories of knowledge. The truth is likely more prosaic. The future of the Federal College was grim. He could not advance in academe without a Ph.D., and as the family's oldest son, he felt a duty to help his mother and siblings. In the fall of 1938, newly credentialed, he looked for work. Times were still hard, and there were few openings. He returned to Harvard as a low-level employee in the library, hired on temporary funds for a special project, the revision of the Union List of Serials, a massive guide to the periodical holdings of the major libraries across the United States and Canada. The first edition of the ULS, published in 1927 after a decade of labor, was a remarkable achievement in the age before computers, but was riddled with inaccuracies and ghosts, as the librarians called false entries. Work on a second edition began in 1937. Harvard contained many libraries and specialized collections, each with different personalities and practices, from fussy to slipshod. "The magnitude of the task has surpassed all expectations," Peiss observed, and the librarians sometimes despaired of completing it. To break up the routine, he pulled catalog cards that fetched a laugh, with such titles as Kansas Knocker, a journal for cranks, and National Nut News. After the United States entered the war, his friend and co-worker, Frederick Kilgore, went to Washington to work for the OSS, which actively recruited scholars and specialists from the Ivy League. Kilgore's assignment was to organize an overseas program to acquire enemy publications. He needed seasoned librarians, he wrote his former boss, Harvard Library Director Keyes Metcalf, and preferred men ineligible for the draft. A mild